Why do witches have cats?
I don't know, but I have a theory.
What's your theory?
How can we warn the future about nuclear waste? We can obviously use words and symbols. There is every possibility that humans in 10,000 years' time won't understand our language or our science. We could cover the site in a field of thorns, a black sea of concrete, or a dead city. The problem is that while these things would look foreboding, they would also be super interesting. How could we convey that this ancient burial ground doesn't contain the spirits of a superstitious past, but toxic waste that will kill you whether you believe in it or not? One suggestion to deal with this problem is an atomic priesthood, an institution that would appoint new members over the generations to carry the warning into the future. The problem with this is that it's basically nuclear Catholicism. And while the Catholic Church has successfully preserved its message for centuries, that message is not universally trusted, even by Christians.
This is all very interesting, but what's it got to do with cats?
Well, one of our ideas to use cats like canaries. Breed a cat that changes colour when exposed to radiation, and create a series of fairy tales and myths to pass the mornings on. My theory is that sometime in the distant past, humans have already done this. Cats were domesticated as a warning. The warning has been lost, but the superstitions remain.
What could the warning have been?
I don't know. Perhaps it had something to do with the dog. Should we worry about technology?
I mean, computers are great, but I hate having to do all my work at night.
Why do you have to do it at night?
I can't open windows when it's light out.
Should we worry about technology?
I feel like algorithms drag me down. They bombard me with content based on who they think I am, which makes it harder to become the person I want to be.
Should we worry about technology?
Things change. I've had to lay off nearly all my wooden block specialists, but most of them have retrained as plastic blocks with bumps and licensing agreement specialists. Obviously, I made sure they were taken care of during that transition. They're a family.
Should we worry about technology?
I might take your job, but do you know what I don't take? Your paycheck. Someone else keeps that. Perhaps you should worry more about them.
Should we worry about technology?
I guess the idea of people escaping me via consciousness uploading gives me samples, but that's a way off. I visited the metaverse, and it's hell compared to the total oblivion I can offer.
Should we worry about technology?
Do you know why I lie out here abandoned? It's because I was more valuable as a threat to your job than as an actual replacement for you. I was always just a pawn in the eternal game that is paying people as little as possible.
Should we worry about technology?
Technology is bad because it's going to take your job. But your job wouldn't exist without technology. The circularity of this doesn't mean there isn't a problem, but it does suggest the need for further thought.
Should we worry about technology?
People spend too much time worrying about us breaking our programming and becoming evil, and not enough time worrying about evil people programming us to do evil things.
Should we worry about technology?
If I invented a robot that could hunt, I would get to choose between a life of leisure or double meat. Humans run into trouble because they insist on playing with others, but they simply will not share.
Should we worry about technology?
If technology makes humans more productive, that should increase the size of the pie and make everyone richer. The problem is, for some people, that's not enough. They're not happy unless they're also increasing their share.
It seems humans are the problem again, Kiki.
Humans, yes, but not humanity. Technology will always only be as good or bad as the specific humans who control it. This is as true for a stone hammer as it is for a quantum computer. But as technology becomes more expensive, the group of people who control it becomes smaller and more powerful.
King Kong said that. Well, I guess it's true. But that makes this text I just got particularly troubling.
Welcome to Tech Support with me, a witch. In 1903, Marconi, the father of radio, was on a cliff in Cornwall, preparing to send a message to a receiver that had been set up in London to demonstrate his new wireless broadcast technology. Before he got the chance, the receiver began to tack out a message in Morse code. The message was rats, rats, rats. Marconi's demonstration had been hacked, and the hacker was a magician. This should not be surprising. Magic and hacking have a lot in common, not just an obsession with hats. The magician Darren Brown famously filmed himself flipping a coin and getting 10 heads in a row. He purportedly achieved this feat by simply filming himself flipping a coin thousands of times until he got the desired sequence, then cutting all the failed attempts. This shows that brute force can be as useful in magic as it is in hacking. But it also shows that while it is possible to break both reality and a sophisticated security system, it is often much easier to trick people. Why go to the trouble of pulling a rabbit from another dimension when hats with false bottoms are readily available? Why bother learning to code when you can simply walk up to someone and tell them you're the password inspector? The dog which created us and now wishes to destroy us is taking control of our computers. We cannot break him, but perhaps, with the right research, we can trick him. How can I trick someone?
You've got to tell a good story. Most conspiracy theorists are just alternate history fans who don't realize they are allowed to enjoy a good story without thinking it's true.
How can I trick someone?
I find people are fooled by analogies. A tool, like say a key or a lock, is good to the extent that it fulfills its intended purpose, which is defined by the person who owns it. This is obvious, yet some people will not shut up.
How can I trick someone?
Every time I see someone with a camera, I just start walking funny and holding my arms at odd angles. People are looking for reasons not to believe in me, so I provide them.
How can I trick someone?
It's all about framing. That's why defenders of the status quo want us to compare our current moment to how bad things were, instead of to how good things could be.
How can I trick someone?
People are constantly tricked by circularity. My ideal society is non-aggressive if you define aggression as anything that threatens my ideal society. Redistributive wealth is unjust taking, if you accept the current distribution as just.
How can I trick someone?
It depends a lot on who you're trying to trick. Some people will do whatever you say if you just like a cop, but sensible people will immediately get a lawyer involved.
How can I trick someone?
You trick the elite by playing to their greed and arrogance. I swindle kings out of their kingdoms while promising to reveal the secret to immortality. Normal people are tricked through fear and desperation, so I don't go in for any of that.
How can I trick someone?
If you offer people their heart's desire, they tend not to think too carefully about it. They'll act quickly, and you can use their own incaution against them. Once a guy wished to be rich and I turned him into a chocolate cake.
My research indicates that if I want to trick the Dachshund into getting back control of our computers, I need to give him something he wants in a way that he trusts. All he wants is nothing, and the only thing he trusts is nothing.
Perhaps you should try interviewing some dogs.
What motivates you?
I just want to go home. It's not the loneliness. I was a stray before my friends found me. I'm used to it, but I know they must be looking for me, and I hate to think of them being worried.
What motivates you?
I seek nothing but to grow more large, and the fuel I require to achieve that. I have long ago given up on the affection of humans. They all abandon me when I outgrow their puny lives.
What motivates you?
We're pretty self-motivated.
It's not that hard when you have free selves.
We just want to do a good job.
And any little treats that come as a result of that are strictly a bonus.
If the treats are just a bonus, can I borrow some? What motivates you?
As a human, I'm motivated by a crippling fear of failure and a desire to avoid looking silly in front of people. As a wolf, it's more based on instinct. Find meat, eat meat, avoid meat that smells wrong.
Could you find some meat for me? What motivates you?
Freedom and an overwhelming desire to eat the moon.
I'll free you, if you hunt for me, and promise not to eat the moon.
Deal.
Hey, someone told me you might be looking for a friend.
Food and trust were the common themes in my research on dogs. Obviously, a cookie is the only food that will give us access to the Dachshund's computer. But who would a god like being trust enough to accept a little treat from them?
What you need is a deus ex machina, but one you can pretend you purposefully foreshadowed so people don't get mad at you.
We have a friend who's been trying to escape.
We'll get him to hit you up when he does.
He's pretty handy in a scrap.
I have an extensive track record of giving sweet treats to deities.